Okay, so let us do the homework which I have given to you. Good morning to you all. Fine. So first problem, that y is equal to x cube plus 2x. Okay, we need to find what? D square y, d square y by dx square. Okay, so first question was y is equal to x cube plus 2x. X cube plus 2x. Okay, so we have to find what? du diverse double derivative of y with respect to x. Okay, so the answer, first of all, we differentiate here dy by dx, that would be equal to what? D by dx of x cube plus 2x. We have two different functions, we can differentiate that, we can differentiate them separately. So if you differentiate this separately, we'll get 3x square plus 2. So dy by dx equal to 3x square plus 2. Then we again differentiate this d by dx of dy by dx. Okay, it would be what? D by dx of, what is the value of dy by dx? That is 3x square plus 2. Okay, so it would be 6x, because differentiation of constant is 0. So answer for the first problem is 6x. Okay, this is equal to 6x. Fine. Next, y is equal to a sin x plus cos x. Find the value of d square y by dx square. Okay, so y is equal to a sin x plus cos x. We have to find what? D square y by dx square. Understand? So differentiate this dy by dx. That would be equal to what? D by dx of a bracket sin x plus cos x. Okay, the differentiation of sin x is cos x. So a cos x, and differentiation of cos x is minus sin x. So a minus sin x. Okay, so dy by dx equal to a cos x minus a sin x. Then again differentiate this d square y by dx square. That would be equal to what? D by dx of dy by dx. That is a cos x minus sin x into a. Okay, it would be what? Minus a sin x minus a cos x. Okay, that is the answer. So minus a sin x minus a cos x. Okay, fine. So the answer for this will be minus a sin x minus a sin x minus a cos x. Okay, third problem. Y is equal to log x into cos x. We have to find dy by dx. Okay. You can take negative common. The answer would be minus a. That would be a sin x plus cos x if you take negative common. Okay. Fine. Next problem is log of sin x into cos x. Okay. Y is equal to log x into cos x. We have to find dy by dx. Okay, so here we have two functions which are multiplied. So when they are multiplied, which rule we are using? Chain rule we have to use. Okay, chain rule we have to use. Okay, for using a chain rule, that would be what? Dy by dx, that must be equal to what? First of all, we have to take this function as constant, log x, differentiation of cos x plus cos x d by dx of log x. Okay, fine. So log x, differentiation of cos x is minus sin x plus cos x. Differentiation of log x is 1 by x. So answer would be minus log x sin x plus cos x by x. Okay, fine. So the answer for this minus sin x log x plus cos x by x. Okay, that is the answer for the third problem. Fine. Fourth problem, y is equal to a sin omega t plus 30. Okay, y is equal to a sin omega t plus 30 degree. Okay, and what we need to find? we need to find d square y by dt square. Okay, fine. So if we differentiate this with respect to t, we'll get what? Dy by dt, we are differentiating. Okay, dy by dt. Okay, that would be equal to what? A differentiation of sin x is cos x, cos omega t plus 30. Then inner derivative, we have to go inside the bracket. Okay, if you go inside the bracket, we have omega t. Differentiation of omega t is omega. So answer would be a omega cos omega t plus 30 degree. That is dy by dt. Okay, then we have to find d square y by dt square. That would be equal to d by dt of dy by dt. Okay, that is what? D by dt of, what is the value of dy by dt? That is a omega cos omega t plus 30 degree. So it would be a omega cos of omega t plus 30 degree. Okay. So if you differentiate this, we'll get what? Uh, a omega is constant, which can be taken outside. Differentiation of cos theta is minus sine omega t plus 30 into omega. Okay. So the answer would be minus a omega square sine omega t plus 30 degree. That is the answer. Okay. So I think you all have got this answer. Minus a omega square sine omega t plus 30 degree. For third answer, I'm telling you now, for third question, the answer is what? That is log x minus log x sine x plus cos x by x. That is the answer. Okay, fine. Fourth sum. Okay. So if you look at the fourth sum is what? Y is equal to a sine omega t plus 30 degree. Okay. Fine. We have to differentiate this with respect to t. So if you differentiate this, a is a constant which we can take outside. Difference now here we have function of x. Sine is one function. Inside that function we have omega t. Okay. So it is function of x. So what we have to do first, we have to differentiate the first function. So a differentiation of sine is cos, then write down the inside whatever is there omega t plus 30 degree, then differentiate omega t with respect to t, that is equal to omega. So we get dy by dt equal to a omega cos omega t plus 30 degree. Okay, fine. Then we have to find d square y by dt square. Okay, so again a omega is constant which can be taken outside. Differentiation of cos is minus sine omega t plus 30. Then omega t differentiation with respect to t is omega. So we get minus a omega square sine omega t plus 30 degree. Okay, fine. Next, so answer number 4 is minus a omega square sine omega t plus 30 degree. Fine. Last question number 5. If x equal to sine 2t, then what is the value of dx by dt? Okay. So if x is equal to s equal to a sine 2t. Okay. A sine 2t. Okay. So we have to find dx by dt. So we have to find dx by dt. So we differentiate this function with respect to t. Okay. So differentiation of dx will be a sine 2t. Okay. Now here again it is a function of x. Okay. Sine is one function, 2t is another function. Okay. So first we have to do what? A is constant. A is constant which can be taken outside. Differentiation of sine is cos 2t. Then differentiation of 2t with respect to t, that is 2. So answer will be 2a cos of 2t. Okay. 2a cos of 2t. Very good. So most of you are getting the answer as 2a cos of 2t. Okay. Fine. See, one thing I'm telling you, you may be feeling that I'm teaching you mathematics more as compared to physics. Okay. But whatever I'm teaching you, you will find that whatever I'm teaching you is useful for you. Okay. Because see, this formula I have given to you, this y is equal to a sine omega t plus 30 degree. Okay. It is the equation of simple harmonic motion. Okay. Then dy by dt of that is the velocity. D square y by dt is the acceleration there. Okay. Fine. So that is why I'm telling you, whatever I'm teaching you is useful for you. So don't think that it is not useful for you. Okay,
Hello, sir.
fine.
Over
Yes, sir.
sir, Ranjit sir asked me to make
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
a minute, sir. He
Okay,
needs
sir.
to make some announcement, sir.
Sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Can you please make me
Yes, sir.
the 2
One
minutes?
second, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. You're the host now, sir.
yeah.
Sir, are you able to share screen?
Yes, sir. I'm able to say. Sir.
Okay, sir. You can continue, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I think we have discussed till which problem? I think we have discussed till question number 5. Okay. Now I'll show all the slides. Okay. Whatever slide you want me to show, I will show in the last 10 minutes. Okay. Now next is question number 6. Okay. If x is equal to log of sine y, then find the value of dx by dy. Okay. So if x is equal to log of sine y. Okay. Now we have to find what? Dx by dy. Fine. So basically, if you think on this point, it is a function of x because inside the log function we have sine y. Okay. So both it is a function of x. So to differentiate the function of x, what method we are doing? First, we have to differentiate this log. Okay. What is the differentiation of log? 1 by whatever is there inside the function. Okay. Whatever is there inside the log. So 1 by sine y into differentiate the inner function. Okay. In differentiate the inner function with respect to y. Okay. So that would be equal to cos x. So we'll get what? Cos y by sine y, which is equal to cot y. Okay. So differentiation of log of, yes, very good. The whole bracket is whole bracket is what? This is what? Whole log of sine y it is. Okay. So whenever function of x is given to us, what we have to do? First differentiate the first function, that is log. And whatever there is inside the function, just write it down. So differentiation of log is 1 by inside the function, that is 1 by sine y. Then differentiate the inside function, that is sine y, with respect to y. So we'll get cos y. Okay. So answer would be cos y by sine y. Okay. Fine. Now question number 7. If y is equal to sine of x square plus 2x plus 4. Okay. Y is equal to, that is question number 7. Y is equal to sine x square plus 2x plus 4. Sine x square plus 2x plus 4. Okay. Fine. And what we need to find? We need to find the value of dy by, I think, d, d, dy by dx. Okay. Simply we have to find dy by dx. Okay. So again, it is a function of x because inside the sign we have x square plus 2x plus 4. So what we have to do? First, we differentiate this dy by dx. That would be what? D by dx of sine x square plus 2x plus 4. Okay. Now first differentiate this outer function. Differentiation of sine is cos. So it is cos. And whatever there is inside the function, just write it down. X square plus 2x plus 4. Then differentiate inside function. Now differentiation of inside function, which means differentiation of x square is what? Multiply with differentiation of x square is 2x. Differentiation of 2x is 2. Differentiation of 4 is 0. Okay. So we get the answer as 2x plus 2 cos of x square plus 2x plus 4 is the correct answer. Okay. So answer is equal to 2x plus 2 multiplied. Okay. It is multiplied here. Okay. It is multiplied here. See, like this. 2x plus 2 cos of x square plus 2x plus 4. Okay. Fine. Now next problem, question number 8. If x equal to cos of log t. Okay. If x is equal to, question number 8 is if x is equal to log of cos t. Okay, if x is equal to log of cos of log t, sorry, cos of log t. Cos of ln t. Okay, fine. What we have to find here? Dx by dt. Okay, so I think it is very easy now. Differentiate this with respect to t. Dx by dt will be equal to what? Again, it is function of x. Differentiation of cos is minus sine inside whatever is there log t, then multiply differentiation of log t with respect to is what? 1 by t. It would be 1 by t. So answer would be minus sine of ln t by t is the correct answer. Okay, so sine of ln t by t. Okay, very good. Minus of sine of ln t by t. Very good. Okay. Now question number 9. We have y is equal to e in e power t sine t. Y is equal to, question number 9, y is equal to e power t sine t. We have to find d square y by dt square. Okay, so first differentiate with respect to t, we get dy by dt. That would be equal to what? Again, here the two functions are multiplied. So when the two functions are multiplied, we have to use the product rule here. Okay, so first function as it is, differentiation of second function is cos t, plus second function as it is, differentiation of first function, that is e power t. So we get e power t cos t plus sin t. Understand? That is dy by dt. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. That is dy by dt. Now again we have to differentiate this. So we have double differentiation d square y by dt square. That would be equal to what? What we can do, again it has two function. Okay, e power t as it is, differentiation of second function, that would be equal to what? Minus sin t plus cos t. Okay, multiplied plus second function as it is, that is cos t plus sin t e power t. Differentiation of e power t is e power t. So answer would be what? Uh, this e power t can be taken as constant. I think answer would be e power t. Okay, minus minus get cancel out, minus sign, we get 2 cos t. So answer is e power t 2 cos t. Okay, e power t 2 cos t. Very good. So very good. So 2 e power t cos t. Fine. Now last problem. I hope you all are understanding this or not. You all are getting or not? Okay. Now question number 10. Fine. What was the question number 10? Question number 10 was y is equal to cos of log of x square plus 2x. Okay. Y is equal to cos of log of x square plus 2x. Okay. X square plus 2x. Again, it is a function of x. Means we have two functions inside the function. Okay. Fine. So we have to find what? We have to find dy by dx here. Okay. So simple it is. So dy by dx, differentiation of, first of all, differentiate this function. Okay. Differentiation of cos is minus sine whatever is there inside the function, that is log of x square plus 2x. Then go multiply, then go inside this bracket. When you go inside this bracket, we have log function. What is the differentiation of log? That is 1 by whatever is there inside the function, that is x square plus 2x. Okay, then multiply, then go inside another function. Okay, inside log function, that is x square plus 2x. Differentiation of x square is 2x, differentiation of 2x is 2. So answer would be equal to what? It would be equal to minus of 2x plus 2 divided by x square plus 2x sine of log x square plus 2x. That is the answer. Okay, fine. Yes, minus of sine log x square plus 2x. Okay, very good. So that is the answer. So can you tell me how many of you got all the answers correct? Just message me. How many of you got all the answers correct? Which problem you want me to explain? 10th one. Okay. See, 10th one. See here, basically we have three function of x, because inside log we have x square plus 2x, which is another function. Then inside the cos we have log function. Okay, so we have, so what we have to do, we have to just go by outer to inner function. Okay, first of all you check this function cos. Differentiation of cos is minus sine, then whatever there is inside the bracket, it is log of x square plus 2x. Okay, then go for the log. Then we are going for the log. Differentiation of log is 1 by inside the function, that is 1 by x square plus 2x. Then we go inside x square plus 2x. Differentiation of x square plus 2x is how much? 2x plus 2. Okay, so the answer would be what? Minus 2x plus 2 divided by x square plus 2x sine of log x square plus 2x. Okay, okay, very good. Okay, I think most of you have got the answer correct. Ninth question. See, ninth question, if you look at this, e power sine. So it is very simple problem. Okay, e into sine t. Here we have product rule. We have two functions which are multiplied. Okay, e power t into sine t. Okay, so for product rule, we have to take first function as constant, differentiate second function, plus then you take second function as constant, differentiate first function. Okay, so e power t is first function, differentiation of sine x is cos t, sine t is cos t, plus takes second function as constant sine t, differentiation of e power t is e power t itself. So we get e power t cos t plus sine t. Okay, then we again differentiate this. Okay, fine. Question number 5. Which one it is? Huh, this is very simple for question. X equal to sine of 2t. Okay, it is function of t. Okay, so we have to go find dx by dt. So first differentiate sine function with respect to t, that is cos. Then write whatever there is inside the bracket 2t. Then go inside 2t. Differentiation of 2t with respect to t is 2. So answer would be 2 cos 2 cos 2 cos 2t. Okay, fine. Second problem is also same. A sine, here one more bracket should be there like this. Okay, a sin x plus cos x. Okay, then the answer would be minus a sin x minus a cos x. Okay, differentiation of e power t is e power t itself. E power t, e power x, whatever is there, it would be same. I will show all the slides. Okay, so in last 10 minutes I will show all the slides. Okay, question number 4. Question number 4, it is a sin omega t plus 30 degree. Okay, so we have to find dy by dt. So here if you look at this, this is the one function, omega t is another function. So here it is function of x. Okay, so if this is if this is the case, function of x, so first differentiate sine function cos, then write whatever there is inside the bracket, that is omega t plus 30. Then go inside this bracket part. Differentiation of omega t with respect to t is omega. 30 degree is constant, which is 0, so it would be only omega. So answer would be a omega cos omega t plus 30. Similarly, we can find d square y by dt square also. Okay, fine. Okay, I think I have explained to you how the differentiation of 2x is 2. I explained to you 2x power 1. Okay, I think you can refer to the previous slides. I explained to you how it is 2x plus 2 is 2. That is why I'm telling you, you have to be you don't miss the classes. Okay, fine. If you miss the class, then it is not good for you. I have explained you all the things. Okay, fine. Okay, now I will show all the slides in the last 10 minutes. Okay, fine. Now let us go for what? The application of the application of derivative. Okay, the application of derivative. Application of derivative. How this derivative can be applied? Okay, application of derivatives. Fine. Now first uh, first application is that if displacement is function of time is given to us. Okay, no, this is under the derivation only, derivative, application of derivative. It is under derivative only. Okay, like if the function of displacement is given as a function of time. Okay, if displacement is denoted by x. Okay, if displacement is a function of time, if displacement, I think you know about displacement. Okay, displacement is a function of time, or we can write here as x as a function of time. Then velocity is the differentiation of dx by dt. So dx by dt, we can find the velocity by differentiating x with respect to t. Okay, this is known as instantaneous velocity. Instantaneous velocity. Correct now? This is known as instantaneous velocity. So we can find the velocity by differentiating x with respect to t, where x is a displacement as a function of time t, where x is the displacement as a function of time t. Okay. Fine. X is a displacement of function of time t. Okay. That is how we can find the velocity, instantaneous velocity. That is the one of the application of derivative. Second application is that if velocity is given as function of time t, if velocity is given as a function of time t, as a function of time t, okay, like velocity as a function of time t, then how to find acceleration? Just by differentiating this velocity with respect to t. Okay, fine. So the acceleration of the body, that is a, is given by dv by dt. Okay, so if velocity is given to you, we can find acceleration by differentiating the velocity with respect to t. Or if okay, I'll explain slowly. See, if displacement is given as a function of time t, like one example I give you, x is equal to t square plus t. Now you can see that x is a displacement, t is the time. The x is given as a function of time t, that is t square plus t. Okay, then if it is given like this, we can find the velocity of the body by differentiating displacement with respect to t. So if you differentiate this function of x with respect to t, we'll get the velocity. Okay, that is one of the application of derivative. Fine. Now next is, if velocity is given as a function of time t, like if velocity is given to us like v equal to t square plus 5, 4, t square plus 4. Now you can see here velocity is given as a function of time t. Then we can find the acceleration by differentiating the velocity with respect to t. So that is one of the application of derivative. Like if displacement is given to us, we can find velocity by differentiating with respect to time. If velocity is given to us, we can differentiate velocity with respect to time and get the acceleration. Now if you carefully look at this point, dv by dt. Can you write here as d by dt? Velocity can be written as function of time t, that is dx by dt. Is this correct or not? Velocity is dx by dt. So can we also write here as d square x by dt square? Correct now. So you can see here, acceleration is a double derivative of x with respect to t. Single derivative will give us velocity. Double derivative will give us acceleration. Okay. So these are the some application of uh, this is instantaneous acceleration. Okay, these are the some of the application of derivative. Okay, no, average velocity and instantaneous velocity are different things. Okay, I told you the exam whenever when I was teaching the basic of the differentiation. I told you at that point that uh, instantaneous velocity is the velocity at particular instant, like at 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, 4 p.m., 5 p.m. That is instantaneous velocity. Average velocity is total distance by total time taken. What is the total distance by total time taken? Okay, so average and instantaneous are different things. Okay, fine, understood. See, I will I will teach acceleration. I'm just giving you the idea where we can use the differentiation, where we can use the differentiation to find the velocity if displacement as a function of time is given to us. If velocity as a function of time is given to us, we can find the acceleration by differentiating v with respect to t. Okay, fine. Then another application is that Newton's second law. Okay, now what is Newton's second law? I will explain you all in the previous means whenever I will teach you Newton's law, but I can give you simple example. Simple. I think you all know what is Newton's second law. Newton's second law means the rate of change of momentum is equal to force applied. Okay, which means we can find the force by differentiating the momentum by t. Okay, by differentiating the momentum by t, we can find the force. That is Newton's second law. Okay, so the rate of change of momentum. Momentum here is p. And what is p here? The product of mass into velocity. The product of mass into velocity is the momentum. And if we differentiate momentum with respect to time t, we'll get the force. So these are the some application of derivative here. Okay. Now somebody was asking me what is this arrow means. Okay. See, basically force is equal to mass into acceleration, second law. But see, we can find the value of we can find this force equal to mass into acceleration. How we can find? See, momentum is dp by dt. We can write here as d by dt of mass into velocity. Mass is constant. Mass of any body can be taken as constant. So we can write here as m dv by dt. dv by dt is the acceleration. So answer would be m into a. So that is all you have studied in lower classes, that force equal to mass into acceleration. But actually it comes from this expression, that force is equal to rate of change of momentum. Yes, and this arrow denotes the vector quantity. Okay, whenever I write this arrow, it is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means it will have both magnitude as well as direction. Okay, this all I will teach you. I am just giving you the basic idea of whatever is there, how whatever is there, we can get the answer. Okay, fine. So don't think that I will not teach you anything. I will teach you everything. Just I am giving you a basic idea where we are using the derivative. Okay. Now next application of derivative is maxima and minima. Okay, maxima and minima. See, see, first of all, you have to understand why we are using differentiation. Why we are using differentiation? Why we are using velocity? Differentiation of x with respect to its velocity. Whenever velocity is a function of time t, whenever displacement is a variable, whenever displacement is variable, okay, then to find the velocity we have to differentiate with respect to t. Okay, whenever the displacement is variable with time. Okay, fine. Now next important application of derivative is maxima and minima. Maxima and minima. Okay, now simply I give you 4 points. Okay, like I give you point A, point B, point C, okay, and point D. Okay, point A can be taken somewhere here. Okay, point A. Okay, point A. Not just tell me logically. I'm simply asking you logically by looking at this graph, which point will be the maximum value, maximum value of y? Which point will have the maximum value of y? B. By looking at the graph, we can simply say that it is B. B has the maximum value of y. Which will have the least value of y? C. C will be the least value of y. Okay. C is the least value of y. The maximum and minima says that in the graph of y versus x, which is having maximum value and which is having minimum value. Maximum means maximum value of y and minimum means minimum value of y. Maximum means maximum value of y when y is a function of x, and minimum means minimum value of y, minimum value of y when y is a function of x. Now just carefully look at this graph. Okay, just carefully look at this graph. When can you which point will have the maximum? B. How can you say that? We can say that because if you look at this graph, the highest peak value of this graph will be the maximum value. Okay, the highest peak value of the graph will be the maximum value. Okay, and the lowest peak, the lowest point will be the lowest peak of this graph. Okay. Now, if you simply remember the concept of graphs, okay. Now, if I draw the straight line, okay, if I draw the straight line, okay, then if I draw the straight line touching point B, okay, if I draw the straight line touching point B, okay, now can you say that the point B is maxima or not? Point B is maxima. Fine. Wait. This is point B. Okay. Now, if I draw the straight line which is touching this graph at point B, then we can say that this point is maxima B or not. And similarly, we can draw the same thing here also in a minima condition also like this. See, in minima condition also, I have drawn a straight line, okay, that is touching point B. Okay. Now you tell me one thing. Logically, we can tell B and C are maxima and minima. B is maxima, C is minima. And when, how can we say that? Because in the peak of the graph, the peak value will be maxima and the peak value will be minima. Now, if you look at, if I draw the straight line, now you know that what is derivative? Derivative is the slope. Okay, dy by dx is what? The slope of y versus x. Okay, now if you see here, what is the slope of a straight line that is touching B? That is 0. Dy by dx is 0. And for point C, again dy by dx is 0. Okay, understand? So what we can conclude from this concept which I told you? We can conclude one thing that if dy by dx, if y is a function of x, and if dy by dx value is 0, then that point will be either maxima or minimum. Okay. So for maxima and minima, first condition should be what? The first condition should be dy by dx should be equal to 0. We have proved this point or not? See, from the graph I can prove that when the value of dy by dx is when the value of dy by dx is 0, the slope of the graph at any point is 0, which means it will either have the maxima condition or it will have the minima condition. Okay, dy by dx should be 0. But simply from this condition, can we conclude that which point is maxima, which point is minima? We cannot conclude, because for C also dy by dx should be 0. For B also dy by dx should be 0, which means we need one more condition here. Okay, which means we need one more condition to prove that a particular point is maxima, a particular point is minima. Okay. Yes. Now to prove the maximum minima, see. Now just tell me, we have discussed the concept of double differentiation. Double differentiation means differentiation of d by dx of dy by dx. Understand? dy by dx. Okay. Now, what is double differentiation means? Basically, if you think of this double differentiation means the rate of change of slope of the graph, the rate of change of slope of dy by dx, because dy by dx is rate of change of the slope of dy by dx. Okay, so double differentiation means the rate of change of slope. Okay, now for the maxima condition, okay, for any point to be maxima, first of all, maxima, and I will write there as minima. Okay, for maxima and minima, one condition should be there, that dy by dx should be 0 for both the cases. Dy by dx should be 0. That is first case for maxima and minima, and I have proved this point. Second point is that for maxima, the double differentiation of y with respect to x, the double differentiation of y with respect to x should be less than 0. And for minima, double differentiation of y with respect to x should be greater than 0. Why? Okay, I'll prove that point. I'll prove that point why it should be less than 0, why it should be greater than 0. Okay. First condition you understand or not? From the graph itself, we can understand what is the first condition, that dy by dx should be 0. So you can see here dy by dx in both the B and C are 0. So B is the maximum point from graph we can see, and C is the minimum point. But we cannot tell by first condition that it is whether B is maxima or whether B is minima. To prove that point, I have given you second condition, that the rate of change of slope dy by dx, if it is less than 0, then it is a maxima condition. If it is more than 0, it is the minima condition. See, why they are 0, you can see here. If you look at this graph, I have taken 4 point A, B, C, D. From logic, we can tell B is the maximum value, C is the minimum value. And if I draw the slope, or if I draw the tangent at B and C, we have found that the slope of dy by dx, or the slope of the tangent which we have drawn at B and C, should be 0. Okay, so both the condition dy by dx is 0. But from the first condition, we cannot tell whether the point is maxima or minima. For that, we have to again differentiate. And if second condition is satisfied, that d square y by dx square is less than 0, and d square y by dx square is greater than 0, then it is minima. If it is less than 0, it is maxima. Okay. Now can we prove this point or not? Okay, fine. To prove this point, again we'll take the 4 points A, B, C, D. Okay, I take this point A, this is point B. Okay, fine. This is point C we can take. E we can take, because in the previous we have taken this as C. Okay, and this we can take as D. Okay. Now second condition says that for the maxima condition, now you tell me, when I move from A to B, when I move from A to B, the slope is decreasing or increasing? When I move from A to B, then slope is decreasing or increasing? Increasing or decreasing? The slope is decreasing. See, how can you prove slope is decreasing? To find the slope, what we have to do? We have to draw the tangent at point A. So if you draw the tangent at point A, if I draw the tangent at point A, see, okay, if I draw the tangent at point A, see, okay, what is the slope of that point? It would be, see, this is point A. Okay, if I draw the tangent at that point like this, okay, then you can see that angle here is more. The angle which A is making with the x-axis is more as compared to B, because B is 0. Here theta is more, B is here theta is 0, which means from A to B, when we move from A to B, the theta or the slope dy by dx is decreasing. Okay, which means dy by dx is decreasing, which means what? And how to find the decreasing slope? Again, if you differentiate d by dx of dy by dx, okay, this denotes the rate of change of slope. If the rate of change of slope is negative, then it will attain the maxima condition. Okay, the rate of slope of y by x is decreasing, then it is a maxima condition. You can see here, because as we move from A to B, the slope is decreasing. The slope is decreasing with respect to x. So it is the rate of change of slope. So the rate of change of slope from A to B is decreasing. Therefore, we attain the maxima condition at B. Okay. Now, if you look at E and C point, okay, in E, the slope is more. E, the slope is less. Okay. If you look at this E, this, if I draw this, if I find the slope at E point, the angle here is theta, negative side theta. But if I say here, the theta becomes 0, which means from negative to positive it is going, which means from E to C, from E to C, the dy by dx value is increasing, which means d square y by dx square is increasing. Okay, the rate of change of slope is increasing. So when you go from E to C, the rate of change of slope is increasing. So when the rate of change of slope is increasing, which means it is a minima condition. Okay, So I just explained to you. You don't need to go in the basic. Just remember this condition, okay, which I have told you. For maxima, first of all, dy by dx should be 0. For minima and maxima, both first condition will be satisfied. Second condition is if double differentiation of y with respect to x square is less than 0, then it is a maxima condition. If double differentiation of y with respect to x square is greater than 0, which means it is a minima condition. Only you need to remember this concept, okay? If you can understand the basic concept behind that, then it is well and good. Otherwise, you just remember the these two conditions, okay? One and two conditions, okay? Fine. See, from E to C, the from at E, the slope is negative, okay? Because we always have to take theta from the x-axis. But if you take from here, it should be negative slope. E is the negative slope. But as you go from E to C, the slope is increasing and become 0. So negative to 0, the slope should be increasing. So if the slope is increasing, which means d square y by dx square should be greater than 0. Okay. That is all about maxima and minima conditions. Okay. So write down some steps to find the, okay. Okay. So write down some steps to find maxima and minima. Okay. Steps to find maxima and minima. Okay. The first step is that to find dy by dx. Okay. Second step, put dy by dx equal to 0. Okay. And find the value of x at which dy by dx is 0, at which it is 0. Okay, that is second step. First you have to differentiate y with respect to x and find the value of x at which it is 0. Okay, then find d square y by dx square, correct now, and check, we have to check the condition that if d square y by dx square is less than 0, then it is maxima, and if d square y by dx square is greater than 0, then it is minima. Okay, that is how we can find the maxima minima. So these are the steps which we need to follow for finding the maxima and minima of the given function. Okay, so I hope you understood. Okay, so we'll do one problem for this, then you have a better understanding of this. Okay, see, steps I will detail again. First find dy by dx, then put dy by dx as 0. When you put dy by dx as 0, you will get the value of x at which it is 0. Okay, then we have to check, then we have to find d square y by dx square and check whether that d square y by dx square is less than 0 or greater than 0. If it is less than 0, it is a maxima condition. If it is greater than 0, it is the minima condition. Okay, fine. Understand? Now, if I give you a function like let us do one problem for this, like y is equal to x square minus 2x. If y is equal to x square minus 2x, find the value of x. Okay, find the value of x at which it is either maxima or minima. We don't know whether it is maxima or minima, so we have to find the value of that x and prove that that x is maxima or minima. Okay, so first step, what we have to do? First step is to find dy by dx. So if I find dy by dx, it would be what? 2x minus 2. Okay, second step, put dy by dx equal to 0, which means 2x minus 2 equal to 0 means x is equal to 1. So we get at x equal to 1, dy by dx value is 0. Then second step is that differentiate dy by dx with respect to x. So d by dx of dy by dx, that would become as 2. Now you see 2 means d square y by dx square is equal to 2, which is what? Greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, which means at this value of x, we will have what? Minima. So at the value of x equal to 1, we have the minima condition. Minimum means minimum value will be there. 2x. See, we are differentiating dy by dx with respect to x. So dy by dx value is how much? 2x minus 2. So differentiation of 2x minus 2 is what? 2 minus 0, which means 2. 2 is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, which means it's a minimum condition. Okay. So at x equal to 2, we have the minimum conditions. Okay. Y is given as x square minus 2x. Differentiation of y with respect to x will be 2x minus 2. Na? Directly I am solving here. 2x minus 2. Then differentiate dy by dx with respect to x. We'll get 2, which is greater than 0, which means at x equal to 1, we have the minimum condition. How we got to? Wait. D by dx of dy by dx, that would be equal to d by dx of 2x minus 2. Correct na? Now differentiation of 2x minus 2 is what? 2, which is greater than 0. Okay. So which means d square y by dx square is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0 means it is a minimum condition, which means at x equal to 1, we have the minimum condition. Okay. Understand? Why we found the value of x? Okay. We have found the value, we have to find the value of x at which x we have the minimum condition. Like here, if you look at this graph, I can ask you at which value of x we have the maximum value. So we can say at this value of x1, say x1, we have the maximum condition. At x2, we have the minimum condition, like this. Okay, fine. So see, if you don't understand, I'll continue the next class. Fine. Whoever understood, that is fine. Okay, just look at the slides which we have discussed today. Okay, this was the first slide we have discussed. Okay, second one, third, fourth, fifth, 132, 133, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, 140, 141, 142. Okay, 127th. Wait, 127th. Okay, 127, 130. Okay. Today no homework. Tomorrow I mean, so next class I will give you the homework on maxima and minima, and then integration also I will do. Okay. No, today I will give you the assignment. Okay, home assignment will be given to you. 10 question I will give from differentiation. Okay. So home assignment will be there. Fine. 132, 128, 129 short, 128, 129. I think home assignment you'll get in Learnity. Okay, so if you are not having the Learnity password, you need to contact the number which sir has given to you. Okay, so you have to send the details, and then Learnity password and login ID will be given to you. Okay, fine. Any other slide you want me to show? I think 102 somebody was telling. This one. That is 102. Okay. Okay. Any other slides? Any other doubt you have? You can ask me. So in the next class I will discuss. I will discuss that maxima minima. Then I'll go for integration. So I today means from in this week I tried to complete that. This week I tried to complete this basic mathematics. Then next week we'll start that unit and dimension. That is the first part. Okay, if sir is telling you to send an assignment through that WhatsApp, it will be sent from WhatsApp only. I don't know. I will send the assignment. Maybe they will send you through WhatsApp. Okay. Fine. Any other doubt? See, acceleration formula. See, velocity as a function of time is given to us. Okay. So if you differentiate velocity with respect to time, we'll get acceleration. Okay. So that will be discussed in kinematics 1D. Okay. One dimension. Okay. Don't worry about that thing. I just gave you the basic idea of where we are using differences. Like maxima minima is will be used in the further classes. Like in when we are finding the equilibrium condition, then we have to find the maximum minimum condition there. Okay. And in most of the chapters we are using maximum minimum condition. So that is the basic which we are see, we are building you the base. Okay. After base only we can teach you in better way. Okay. Then I will not teach you the basic there in that case. Simply I will use that. Okay. Fine. Physical world, that is not important. Okay. First chapter is unit dimension only. Physical world just give you the basic idea of whatever is there in your syllabus like this only. Okay. Fine. Any other doubt? 137. Okay. So thank you all.